Good afternoon. My name is Ann Harris, and I'm the Vice President for Academic Affairs at DePauw University. I'll be the first of a series of people who have gathered here to welcome you, for we are very glad that you are here. In this wonderful, meaningful transition into college life, it is tradition to safeguard a time to call together entering students and their families, faculty and university administrators into this convocation to affirm our shared community and our collective academic enterprise. I stand before you with a faculty whose commitment to the transformative power of knowledge is vibrantly manifested in innovative classes and inventive research, and a generosity that creates a dynamic exchange of ideas in our intellectual life at DePauw. They do so in partnership with staff members and administrators committed to your thriving at DePauw, committed to creating and celebrating that sense of belonging that draws us together into community. I come to make a simple gift, but one that I hope will sustain you as you engage in your years of study and discovery at DePauw. It's our motto. You'll see it on sweatshirts and t-shirts, on official documents, on seals, on carvings, throughout the fabric of the university. It was adopted in 1884 and has been with us through the many powerful, tumultuous moments of history since then. It reads, Decus Lumenque Republicae Collegium, Latin, yes. The college is the light and splendor of the common good. Dear students, we'll talk more about it tomorrow morning when I'll have the good fortune of speaking with you again. We'll get into the wonderful multiple meanings of the Latin and also explore more deeply the origins of the idea of coming together for these 4 years of your life in community and curriculum. For now, I want to savor these words, the common good, with you. Re publicae, it's where we get our word republic. Indicates those things that are public, that we hold in common, that we steward as the common good. Being the splendor and the light of the common good can be found on multiple scales. Today, it may be in an act of kindness to a new roommate, or new words and emotions you'll share with those you love. Over the next 4 years, it will be in listening closely to a different point of view, in understanding the complexity of a crucial protein or an ancient poem or a data pattern. It will be found in reaching out to someone who needs you, in shaping DePauw with your presence. Once you graduate, those 4 years before we gather again to celebrate your commencement go fast. Being the splendor and the light of the common good will be found in your collaborations, your leadership, and your contributions to knowledge, solutions, and joy. The news and our conversations let us know that we live in a complex and intense world. You've likely heard that your whole life. Our motto also signals to us that we, all of us, as students, faculty, staff, parents, alumni, and campus guests, are actively engaged in that noblest work of creating a civil society, the framework that safeguards the common good by the very act of our shared endeavor in our classrooms and on our campus. Every time you engage in the scientific process, every time you enter into interpretation, every time you decipher data analysis, every time you understand different perspectives and points of views, you are shaping civil discourse and contributing to a civil society. This year, you'll be doing so from 21 countries around the world and from 31 states in the nation. You will be so powerful together. I'll end with another little gift from language. We often say at DePauw that we don't recruit students to attend the university, we recruit alumni. During a committee meeting a few weeks ago, I had occasion to look up the origin of the word alum. It's from a Latin word. It means to nourish or nurture. And it's a beautiful, compelling idea to think on how our work together is how we grow and foster and develop ideas and endeavors that will sustain the world. You will do good work. Nurture and nourish each other as you create a civil society. Be the light, be the splendor of the common good, and welcome to DePauw. It's now my great pleasure to introduce Bobby Andrews, the Vice President for Enrollment, for a special presentation.
Thank you very much, Anne. I'm the second person, I guess, to welcome you here on the formal occasion, and I want to thank all of you, students, parents alike, on behalf of all the faculty and staff that had an opportunity to work with you this past year and over the years in some instances, making this day a reality. So we want to thank you again for that. And we have one special person that started the ball rolling on this year's class, and that was back on November 17th, when Michaela Staffen from Interlochen Arts Academy in Interlochen, Michigan, was the first person to join the class of 2022. So we'd love to welcome Michaela up here to the stage. And so my job with all of you is just about done, but I have one important thing left to do, and that's Vice President for Academic Affairs, Ann Harris, and Vice President for Student Academic Life, Alan Hill. I turn over to you, the class of 2022.
That's incredibly beautiful, and we hold this in great honored stewardship. It's my pleasure to introduce to you Vice President for Student Academic Life, Alan Hill.
Good afternoon. I'm Alan Hill, Vice President for Student Academic Life and Dean of Experiential Learning. Congratulations again, Michaela, for getting everything started for us. On behalf of President McCoy, our faculty, staff, coaches, university administrators, and current students, I ask that you please join me in formally welcoming an additional 573 first-year students and 4 exchange students to DePauw University and our campus community. This first-year class will soon be joined by 13 transfer students for a total of 591 new students entering DePauw this fall. Please note that the furthest away from home for one of your international students is a classmate who came 6,381 miles to get to Greencastle, Indiana. And that would be from Mongolia. We also have a student a domestic student who came from Hawaii, so traveled 4,270 miles to join you as well. So, students, when you start to feel a little homesick, think about those 2 students, okay? I also would like to ask that you join me in welcoming approximately 25 new members of our faculty and a host of new coaches, staff, and members of the DePauw family. At this time, I would ask all the new students to please stand and thank the faculty, staff, and current students for helping you move all that stuff in this morning. So, if the first-year students can please stand. And while you're standing, give your parents a hug if they're sitting close to you, or just look back at them and thank them give them a wave as well. So. You can be seated. Parents and guardians, each of the members of the DePauw community would like to thank you for putting your trust into us. Please know that we are honored and don't take lightly the privilege to work with your students today. We look forward to fully engaging with your students in an effort to make sure that they have the opportunity to realize the true benefits and full value of their DePauw education. Students, we would like each of you to know, 1, that we care deeply about your health, safety, and well-being while at DePauw University. 2, you're no longer an outsider. We need each of you to bring your broad skills, talents, diverse backgrounds, and experiences to play an important role in building our community. 3, faculty and staff are here to meaningfully engage with you as you plan to explore our academic program and our co-curricular offerings. And 4, we're here to help provide clarity and a sense of calmness that allows for stability in this whenever there are hectic moments that may arise when you're here. So know that our campus community is here to embrace you and challenge you and push you. Classes will start next Wednesday, and that is when you officially begin your college journey. Our faculty and staff members are eager to challenge you and stretch your minds while along the way providing an appropriate amount of guidance and support. Let me share a few specific things about your class, just so you know who you're here with today. 189 of the students in your class are members of our Honors and Fellows program. 125 students in your class are domestic students of color. 118 students have been captains of their athletic teams. 118 students also are first-generation college students. 88 students are international students representing 17 countries. 84 students are legacies. So welcome back the alums who are in our audience today. 34 of our students will proudly join our School of Music. We have students in the class, 18 students who were valedictorians and 4 who were salutatorians, while an additional 106 of you ranked in the top 25 in your high school class. Your class has 7 Eagle Scouts, 4 Girl Scout Gold awardees, and your class had an average GPA of 3.82, ACT averaged at 27, and the average SAT was a 1230. Finally, while I don't have the opportunity to recognize all the talent, services, awards, and honors that each of you bring, one special recognition sort of caught my eye. You're also joined today by a talented classmate who competed in the 2016 Rio Olympics as Yemen's first female Olympic swimmer. Wow, what a class. Give yourselves a hand. And thank you very much. We're so happy that you're here.
Good afternoon. My name is Leslie Smith. I'm a graduate of the class of 2003, and I am the current executive director of alumni engagement. So good afternoon, class of 2022. I'm so glad you're talking back to me, yes. Welcome to DePauw University. On behalf of 30,919 alumni leaders and thinkers across this very nation and the world, it is my absolute pleasure to welcome you to the DePauw family. Today, you begin not just a 4-year college experience, but a lifelong association with faculty, staff, and friends. Through your enrollment to DePauw, you've earned access to an extraordinary network of accomplished graduates who are there to help you navigate the DePauw experience and prepare for a life and work beyond graduation. You'll have an opportunity to engage alumni starting this Sunday as 47 young GOLD alumni, GOLD stands for Graduates of the Last Decade. They will return to campus to join your orientation mentor groups in discussion. You're also, guess what? The very first class in DePauw history to embark on the GOLD commitment. Our commitment to you is that 100% of your graduating class will have plans for employment, fellowships, or graduate professional school. Isn't that remarkable? Many of these postgraduate opportunities are made available by our alumni. So I encourage you, highly encourage you, to make use of the alumni network as you choose a major, seek an internship or off-campus experience, and make plans for your first job or graduate school. DePauw alumni are intensely loyal and committed to sharing their time, expertise, and financial support to provide you with the same quality of life-changing experiences enjoyed as students. Regardless of our roles today, all of us are gathered here today are beneficiaries of generations of noble alumni philanthropy. In 4 short years, which will pass faster than you can possibly imagine, I'm a witness, you'll be a proud part of our deep alumni tradition. I look forward to getting to know each and every one of you and to following your successes. Class of 2022, welcome home. I would now like to introduce to you your student body president, class of 2019, Marianne Martinez.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the student body, let me be one of the first to say, welcome to DePauw University. We are truly so happy and excited to have you all on campus. My name is Marianne Martinez, and I am your student body president. Before I tell you a little bit about myself, I would like to take the time to congratulate each and every one of you for the great efforts that you have made to get yourself here today. Please join me in giving yourselves a round of applause. If you begin to think about it, your entire academic career has been preparing and leading you to this exact moment. I remember when I was in your shoes. Never did I think I would find myself in a small institution over 700 miles away from home in a small town called Greencastle. Being that I came from the city that never sleeps and everything being at a walking distance, it was a hardship to find myself where everything closes at 9 p.m. and the only thing late enough to eat is Marvin's. You may wonder why I'm telling you all of this. Well, regardless of where you all came from, for the next 4 years, this will be your new home, and you are now a part of our DePauw community. We want you to know that you're just not a number here. Your peers, your professors, your advisors will get to know your name and you for the individual that you are. With this, there is an advantage and what some might think is a disadvantage. I'll just say this, they'll know if you make it or don't make it to class. We would also like you to know that each and every one of you has been individually selected to be a part of this new incoming first-year class. Each and every one of you belongs here. DePauw offers an abundant amount of resources, not only while you're a student here, but also after you have graduated. Now that you are here, you may or may not feel like you're truly prepared and ready to embark on your new journey, like not knowing whether you should keep one eye open while you sleep with your new roommate, what you're supposed to talk to your professors about during office hours, and so much more. But that's okay. Have you ever heard of the saying that it takes a village to raise a child? Well, the people that make this institution what it is today are the people in your village, and they are truly committed to being here for you. Whether it be your professor, a staff member, your friend, a connections mentor, the organization or club you join, your RA, your advisor, the list is endless. These are the people here to help guide you and lead you through this next chapter in your life. Aside from your immediate family, the people here want nothing but the best for you and are willing to bend over backwards just to see you succeed. You are not alone, nor will you ever be alone. You may ask yourself, what is a community? A community might mean a lot of different things depending on who you ask. Here at DePauw, our goal is to be a community that consists of constant caring for one another in times of needs, being responsible for one's actions and the impacts that they might have, but also being cognizant of those around us and ensuring that we're holding our peers and ourselves accountable. During your time here, you will find yourself with more freedom than you have ever had in the past. However, with that freedom comes responsibilities. Make sure that you're being responsible, not only by looking after yourself, but also your peers. Push yourself to step out of the comfort zone. Take a winter term trip, study abroad, integrate yourself within this community. These next 4 years will be some of the most challenging, but yet rewarding years of your life. I cannot stress it enough. Please take full advantage of it starting from now. The next 4 years will fly by and be over sooner than you think. Within your time here, you're gonna fail and fall, but that's okay. There's beauty in that hardship. If nothing else has stuck with you thus far, let it be this. By choosing to attend this institution, you're choosing to be challenged at all times, whether that be inside the classroom with a professor asking you a question that you don't know the answer to, or with a conversation with a friend that has different ideologies from you. I'll say this as clearly as possible. These are some of the most beautiful moments that you will have in your life. It will help you grow to become the individual that you aspire to be. Those hardships, along with the way that you learn how to pick yourself back up, will help mold you to be the bright, successful leaders you all aspire to be. At that moment, it may not seem like it, but it's all a process, and the one thing that we do not want to do is rush that process. After Convocation, I want you guys to text, call, FaceTime, whatever it is, and tell your loved ones that you're gonna be okay. No matter how much you miss home, how challenged you feel, that you're gonna be just fine. Class of 2022, you got this. Thank you all so much for your time. I look forward to getting to know each and every one of you, being your voice here on campus, and a primary resource for you all. Without further ado, I would like to introduce Professor of Geoscience, James Mills.
Well, thank you, Marianne, for that very kind introduction. So on behalf of the 230 faculty members, members of the administration, and staff of DePauw University, welcome class of 2022. And a hearty welcome to the parents, relatives, and friends that accompany you today. We're so very excited to see you here today, and we are also so very excited to know that you've chosen DePauw to be your home. And we are also very excited to work with you and the opportunity to work with you over the next few days and to get you ready for your academic start. Before I begin my comments, I need to sincerely thank the senior class of 2018 for the tremendous honor that they have bestowed through their nomination of me to be their speaker at the senior lunch last spring and as today's faculty speaker. So thank you, seniors of 2018. Today, with this brief time I have with you, I want you to begin thinking about change. As many of you moved into your rooms today and perhaps met your new roommate, and as you walked through the Great Hall moments ago with 200 plus people dressed in black robes clapping for you, you already have an inkling that things might be a little different than the world you left not too long ago. And you're right. The changes I'm going to talk about, however, are much bigger and much more impactful than this. In a few minutes, I'll put this into perspective by giving you a little insight into the changes that I've experienced since high school, how this might relate to your future, and our commitment to preparing you to navigate the changes that you will face in this new era of your life. But first, at DePauw, your preparation is going to be grounded in a foundational liberal arts education in many core areas: humanities, arts, music, language, social science, mathematics, and in my area, the natural and physical sciences. You'll learn to write, you'll learn to speak, and you'll learn to be able to calculate how many more pictures you can take with your cell phone before you have to buy more space in the iCloud. We'll also challenge you to examine the broader world around you, locally and globally, through language, examining the unequal distribution of power and privilege and the effects this has on individuals and societies, and to understand and celebrate diversity in all its forms. to prepare you to navigate the inevitable changes that you will encounter throughout your lifetime. Through all of this, we hope to instill in you the passion to become lifelong learners so that you, as so many previous generations of DePauw graduates have, will utilize the knowledge and skills you gain both as a student and as a graduate of DePauw to become the leaders that will shape a better, more equal, and more just society. As we all know, change, personal, cultural, political, physical, and natural, is routine. It's a fundamental part of life and a fundamental part of the universe around us. In the next few minutes, let me deconstruct what changes you might undergo, and I'll begin with a glimpse of the world that I experienced in the few years before college. High school, the early 70s. Now that's the 20th century, not the 19th, as my kids like to say. So, 3.8 billion people on the planet, corduroy, bell-bottom pants, denim jackets, no personal computers. The first microprocessor wasn't developed until 1971. The basic handheld electronic calculator just arrived in stores. They could add, subtract, multiply, and divide. They could take a square root, and they could do a percentage. We were so excited. And they were only $40. No internet, no cell phones. We had telephones on the walls and telephones on the tables, payphones, phone booths, typewriters, the IBM Selectric. We didn't print anything out, we typed it. We didn't send emails, we used the US Postal Service, letters and postcards, radio, AM and FM, the transistor radio, our version of a technology fix. We'd sneak them into class with our earplugs in October to catch the World Series action. The Boys of Summer, Hank Aaron, the Giants, and the scourge of all Northern California residents, the Dodgers. Records and 8-track tapes were everywhere, but cassettes were just around the corner. Color TVs were finally becoming affordable to the average family. Networks, ABC, CBS, NBC, BBC, PBS, almost all of the shows were scripted, of course, except for a new experimental show called An American Family, America's first reality show that provided a deep, many times troubling look into the average American family. The first cable network was formed, HBO. The OPEC embargo began. Gas rationing was implemented. We would never see 36 cent a gallon gas again. The UPC code was invented. Richard Nixon, Watergate, the Vietnam War, Kent State, Charles Manson, Munich Summer Olympics, Apollo 13, Ms. Magazine is founded, Diana and the Supremes performed their last concert, the Beatles disband after their last album, Let It Be, Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, Jim Morrison, and Picasso all pass away. Led Zeppelin IV is released, yes. Melania Knobs, or as we know her, Melania Trump, is born. Amtrak begins service. While Disney World opens, the voting age is lowered from 21 to 18. Battle of the Sexes, Billie Jean King versus Bobby Riggs, Roe versus Wade is deemed constitutional by the Supreme Court. The EPA is established by Richard Nixon. Jaws terrifies the movie theater crowds. The first episodes of Saturday Night Live enthralls late-night TV audiences. And probably the most significant event that impacts even all of us today, Microsoft is founded by Bill Gates and David Allen, and Apple is only a few years away. This was the world I came to college in. Over the last 40 years, the world has changed far more than any of us dared imagine. How will your life and the world around you change in 40 years? Let's try a quick exercise. What do you have with you right now? So think carefully what's in your pocket or maybe your purse or your backpack or in your room that will be in a museum, virtual or brick or mortar, by the time your children become teenagers, which for many of you, don't get too scared, is less than 20 years away. Yes, it's true. What are your kids going to be saying about these things? You use that? Wow, you're so old. That thing's like an antique. My advice? Hang on to those items because your kids and grandkids are going to want them, so don't throw them away. As I noted to the seniors at their lunch last spring, These people around you, so look around you. These people are the ones that you're going to learn with together. In the classroom, in your room, in your house, on the field, on and off the stage, you will laugh together, cry, hug, argue, yell, march, dance, race, walk, love, Instagram, Snapchat, and even, maybe even, talk through the night together. Maybe. I've got my hopes up. At DePauw, you will become family to each other. You will become family to us. These will be very, very strong bonds that will persist through your life. These will be the 4 years that you will most likely compare to all others. And when you walk across that stage 4 years from now, you will be astounded at the change you have undergone from that person sitting in your seat today. And that is just the beginning of your life. Let me return to this idea of change and look at our current state of affairs and list a few of the people, politics, and issues that are relevant in our lives today. This will be your past world 40 years from now as you stand here and talk to the class of 2058. It's coming. 7.7 billion people, 405 parts per million CO2, wildfires, drought, migration, immigration, separation of families, cell phones, the cloud, Apple, Huawei, social media, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Tencent, QQ, Taringa, Twitter, WhatsApp, Kakao Talk, LinkedIn. Information that is shared worldwide in an instant. How we connect and share information is hugely complex and is changing and shaping our lives in time spans measured in seconds and minutes. The Trump presidency, Black Lives Matter, DACA, Roe versus Wade, the NRA, the NFL, Colin Kaepernick, democracy, Brett Kavanaugh, Me Too, transgender, LGBTQ, pronouns, Russia, North Korea, China, incarceration, 3D guns, Sandy Hook, Charleston, Charlottesville, Pulse, anti-Semitism, Gaza, Syria, Q, Putin, SpaceX, Alzheimer's, electric cars, tariffs, solar power, wind power, fresh water, sea level rise, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, CNN, Fox, Netflix, The Bachelor, Bachelorette, Survivor, Big Brother, Empire, Orange is the New Black, Walking Dead, and of course, GOT, winter is almost here. Spotify, Drake, Lenny Kravitz, Beach House, Cardi B, Camila Cabello, Mitski, Ariana Grande, Casey Musgraves, and the greatest singer, one of the greatest singers whom we've had, we've just lost, Aretha Franklin. And I'm sure I've missed just a few of today's news stories and people in the news. The events that are happening today are already changing how you are going to live the rest of your life. In the next 40 years, what will you add to this list? What will be part of your virtual museum? Will you be ready to adapt to the changes that are coming? That is our job here at DePauw. This is our commitment to you, preparing you to critically evaluate and better understand the world and universe around you, preparing each one of you to be a leader in whatever form that may take to navigate the changes that will occur, both those we choose and those we do not. As you meet with your first-year mentor groups this afternoon, your faculty and student mentors will begin helping you prepare the groundwork for your education, and not just your academic education, education about life for the next 80 years. So, class of 2022, with respect to change and your role, I give you 4 challenges. I challenge each and every one of you to vote in every election. As Nike says, just do it. I challenge you to win the Nobel Prize. I challenge you to become President of the United States. And lastly, I challenge you to be the first human to set foot on Mars. So imagine the incredible change the successful completion of each of these challenges will have on each of you, the people around you, and the world around you. So, class of 2022, on this first, most magnificent day of your new life, on behalf of the members of the faculty, administration, and staff of DePauw, we welcome you, class of 2022, to your new family, to your new home, to your changing life. Get ready. We've got a lot of work to do. Thank you. And now, it's my sincerest pleasure to introduce the 20th president of DePauw University, Dr. Mark McCoy.
Welcome. Welcome to the first day of a truly life-changing experience. We're glad you're here, and we look forward to watching you grow and develop into a leader the world needs. DePauw has a long tradition of developing such leaders, and we can't wait to see your impact on the world. We want you to do great things, and we pledge to do all we can do to assist you in that. Leaders the world needs now have a well-honed ability to navigate difference. In your time at DePauw, you will not agree with every classmate, every staff member, every professor, or every person you meet on this campus. TV news is full of people every day who don't agree. In most cases, they can't even agree on how to disagree. And that's sad, but the truth is, we need people to disagree. In our search for truth, we need to be able to discuss, to debate, to think, and to reflect. We need to learn to disagree without being disagreeable. We need to learn to attack an idea without attacking its presenter. The way we do that is to call upon our common values. And I want to share with you today and ask you to reflect deeply upon each of DePauw's stated values. And I'll present each in turn. Student focus. This means that we are focused on you and your development. One of the many great things about DePauw is that each individual is important to us. Here, we understand that you need to know how much we care before you'll care about how much we know. You are important to us. Simply, you are the reason we're here. Collaboration. Let's do this together. You will hear that over and over again in your time at DePauw. And then you will go on to collaborate with colleagues and staff and faculty and administration throughout your time here. We are a collaborative place, and we know that we are stronger together. Faculty-student research, student-staff committees, students leading students are all examples of collaboration at the heart of what we do. Curiosity. The advancement of knowledge and the search for truth are the reasons colleges exist. At DePauw, we are an intensely curious people, and we always seek to understand at a deeper and more profound level in our quest for a life of meaning and means. We often learn most from the people with whom we disagree, and that is why another of our values is so important: respect. College challenges us. Every one of us, faculty, staff, students, administration, we're all challenged here every day. And that's all part of our quest for knowledge and truth. Yet those challenges must be presented from a profound sense of respect. Everyone here is worthy of your greatest respect. And when you show that respect to a classmate, a staff member, a faculty member, you change their day. And in a small way, you change the world. Diversity. Leaders the world needs navigate difference. More than that, they embrace it. None of us is as smart as all of us, and that is why we must break down any barrier that separates us. Our world and our communities grow more diverse each day, and we all benefit from it. If you can't see that, we're not the place for you. Inclusion. My definition of inclusion is when every person feels welcomed and wanted and able to do their best work. Hear that again. Welcome and wanted and able to do their best work. Many of our values are aimed internally, but this one is very much external. It is your job and the job of every person on this campus to make people feel welcomed and wanted and able to do their best work. And until every person feels that way, our work is not done. Now, you may find that you're pretty happy here, and you like your living arrangement, and your scheduled classes is pretty good, and so is your social calendar. You may feel pretty comfortable. But until every one of us feels welcomed and wanted and able to do our best work, your work is not done. And this is a great practice to develop because it is not only true at DePauw. It will be true in your workplace and in your community and in your life forever. Leaders the world need model this philosophy every day. A commitment to excellence. Note that this is not a commitment to pretty good. We are all pretty good. All of us in this room, we're pretty good. But that's not our commitment. Our commitment is to excellence, and the distance between pretty good and excellent is great. Fortunately, DePauw is populated by smart, hard-working people willing to do the work necessary to get them from pretty good to excellent. Be one of them. Trust. The cabinet and I have started referring to an acronym, MRI. In our case, we're not referring to the medical procedure. We're referring to the most respectful interpretation. It's easy to make assumptions about people and their actions. Assumptions are a pernicious type of stereotyping that rarely leads to good. The MRI, the most respectful interpretation, assumes a level of trust. We're all here together for a common goal. Let's trust the good intentions of each other and ask curious questions when we can't. If we must assume, let us assume the good. Great relationships are built on trust. And finally, integrity. Integrity. We save a big one for last. It's no secret that I believe that The Crucible, a play about the Salem witch trials, should be required reading for every college freshman. Not only because I'm a student of history, and because I believe that The Crucible, a story of the past, can serve as a cautionary tale for our future, but because of a single passage at the very end of the play. I'll set this for you. John Proctor, a good, though not completely innocent man, has been wrongly accused of being a witch. If he lies and confesses to being a witch, he's set free. If he refuses to confess to a sin he did not commit, he will be hanged. Being an honest man, he has decided to hang like 18 others in the village. And then his wife tells him she is pregnant. And he has a major dilemma. Confess by lying and meet his soon-to-be-born child, or remain true and leave his children fatherless. Painfully, he decides to confess to a sin he did not commit. Yet when the governor requires that he sign his name to that confession, he refuses. And when pressed, he explains why he cannot sign his name to this lie. And then follows one of the most powerful moments in this powerful play. He says, "Because it is my name, because I cannot have another in my life, how can I live without my name? I have given you my soul. Leave me my name." Proctor would rather die than give up his name, for it is the only name he has, and he knows he will not have another. This brilliant play takes a very tough question and drops it right in your lap. What are you willing to put your name on? Your integrity requires that you think carefully about what you put your name on. Every action you take here will have your name on it. often for the world to see, sometimes only you will know, but you will still have put your most precious prize, your name, on that action. And it would be good to stop and ask before any action, am I willing to put my name on this? So there you have it. DePauw's values: student focus, collaboration, curiosity, respect, diversity, inclusion, commitment to excellence, trust, and integrity. 4 years from now, after you have crossed that stage, and I have shaken your hand, and I have awarded you your degree, I will read to you the President's charge to the graduates. Presidents of DePauw have been reading this charge to graduates for generations. Whatsoever things are good, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are of good report, think on these things: collaboration, curiosity, respect, diversity, inclusion, trust, integrity, a commitment to excellence. These are all good and pure and of good report. Welcome to DePauw. We are so glad you are here. We look forward to great things. And while you are here, think on these things. Welcome to DePauw.
Thank you very much, President McCoy. As we prepare to sing the toast, please know that following our communal song, the faculty and students will recess, while parents are invited to remain seated for the parent orientation session. Here we go.
To old DePauw we toast today, and raise our voices high. We'll honor thee and loyal be, and praise thee to the sky. Let every son and daughter stand, united for thee.